So let's go ahead and proceed further now to discuss about rest of the things. Like next topic is continuation of integrations topic with web services. What is that? Web services is the topic. Okay. Done with this requirement. Pega class notes, web services. April 17, 2025. Practical continuation is done. After that, integrations with the other application. Okay, with the third party application. What is meant by third party application? So integration. Okay, integrations with the third party applications. So if an application wants to communicate with third party application for sending emails, it will use a protocol called SMTP. What is the protocol? SMTP. If an application wants to integrate it with an email server to read the received emails of from inbox, it will use a protocol called IMAP. That will work in future. Okay. Now we want an application to be integrated with another application for exchange of data. For exchange of data. So here, how many systems are integrated to? One is sender system. So it initiates the request. It initiates the request. This is called as requester or consumer. Requester or consumer. Another one is service provider. Service provider. So it receives request. It receives a request. After receiving request, what it will do? Process it. Process. High level I am writing. This is called as service provider or producer. Service or producer. You can call anything. So while okay, I'll open a diagram and explain you. Okay, now. So I'll go with diagram now. What is it? 624 theory documents, right? Diagrams, right? Sorry, diagrams. Web services. Okay, before I open diagram, why I can tell you one real-time example also. See, what is the necessity of going for web services? This concept here is web services concept. What is the concept? Web services. That is the concept we are going to discuss about. If you want an application to communicate with another application for exchanging the data, you need to use a concept called web services concept. Web services concept. So I will tell you one example. Just imagine we are applying for a loan in a bank. We have applied for a loan, personal loan in a bank. I have submitted all the data. So we will generally submit all the data now, our details and our documents, everything. If you have to be provided with loan, sanctioned with loan from bank, means you should be a taxpayer. You should be a taxpayer. So you will also submit the taxation data. You will also submit the taxation details. Your Form 16 or some tax related documents you will submit. Correct? And you will submit your PAN card number. You submit your, in India, it is PAN card number. In USA, maybe it is SSN ID. Okay, in USA, it may be, in India, it is PAN card. In USA, I'm not sure. It may be SSN number. Is it correct or not? I'm not sure. Just I'm taking. See, banking application. In a banking application, no? So, in a bank application, just imagine that. Okay, just I will show you by our application only. So, bank people, what do they do? You have submitted all the documents, tax related documents and all you have submitted. But the documents that the customer has submitted are the correct documents or not, how they will come to know. So customer has submitted, I paid tax. These are my tax related documents. This is my PAN card document. Everything is submitted. But bank has to verify. So now, given bank has PAN card number of the customer, bank is going to open their application. They will provide the PAN number here. They will provide the PAN number here and then click on get tax information button. Then the details of tax that is paid based on this ID will be displayed below if available. If not available, don't display. So let me tell you with customer this one. Customer, one ID I will take, which is already available. So just imagine this is PAN card number. Bank people in their banking application, they will do this task. Oh, taxation information is being received plus green tick mark it is showing. What is it is showing? Green tick mark it is showing. Very good. Everything fine. But now the thing is, the data retrieved here based on PAN card number, the tax information that is being retrieved, is it available within the banking database? So are the banks going to have the information about the taxation details of citizens of the country? Is that
No.
Is it going to happen? No. Banks are not going to have the details about the tax information of the citizens. Then how come bank application has retrieved the data? It is not there in its database at all. Banks will not maintain the details about the tax information of the customers. Correct? So then how bank application has got it? Where it got it from? Now tell me, just think in general, who will maintain the database about the taxation details of the citizens of a country? Who will maintain?
Income
Income
tax
tax
department.
department. Who will maintain? Income tax department will maintain. Government department, income tax department. Okay. Now income tax department has a database with PAN number, tax information for so and so years and all. Another PAN number, like that, so much data is there. Now that means bank application is retrieving from income tax department database. That means bank application is retrieving the data from where? Income tax department related database. Now, this is HDFC Bank, for example. ICICI Bank also will have same feature, no? Every bank, every financial institution in India, countrywide we have, just imagine, 1,000 financial institutions where similar functionality is there in their application. So all these 1,000 financial institutions are going to reach out to the income tax department database. Does it mean the financial department application, financial institution application, on click of the button, is it going to fetch the data from income tax department database directly? No, that will never happen because of security reasons. So income tax department database will not be exposed to everyone else. Means it's not like everyone please come and connect to our database and take the data. That will never happen. Okay. Income tax department database is secret. Okay. Now, how the data is coming? It is definitely coming from income tax department database only, no doubt about it. But how the data is being retrieved here? Now, this is a mandatory service that every financial institution in India needs it from the government, income tax department. Yes or no? Now, income tax department will give a provision like this to every financial institution by using the concept of web services. Okay, I'll tell you now. So what will happen? I'll tell you. Go here to the diagrams, web services. I'll open one diagram. Open with paint. Open with paint. Look at here now. See here. See here. This is bank application. Okay. And this is the database of the income tax department. Okay. Now bank application is not going to directly reach out to income tax department database. That will never happen. So income tax department will come up with one application created from their end. This is income tax department application. So income tax department application will have a connection made between their database. Now in the income tax department application, there will be one software program written. There will be one software program written. This program will have a capability of, this program will always be running. This program will have a capability of receiving requests. What is the capability? Receiving requests. Now, the bank application is going to send the PAN card number that you have entered in UI, and you clicked on button. The moment you click on button, The PAN card number entered in bank application will be sent to the income tax department application by reaching out to one web service. By reaching out to web service means program, one software program. The program will be invoked from outside. The program will be invoked from outside. While invoking, it will provide some input. Now, this program which is available in the income tax department will receive the ID. Then it will search the database. Suppose it finds the record, it will bring the record of data here. The record that it has brought will be sent back to the requester. Understand clear, everyone? So this is the process of communication that is going to happen in case of this type of requirement. So the software program that is written at the income tax department side is called as web service, a service provided through the internet. A service provided through the internet. So web service is a software program. Web service is a software program. Software program developed and maintained by service providers. Service providers. The web service will be exposed to third-party vendors by service provider. So consumers then can access the exposed web service. Exposed web service. How they will access, I will tell you. So now, what are the tasks a consumer performs? Tasks performed by. So high level I am writing. Performed by, first one, consumer. Performed by consumer system, consumer application. What are the tasks performed by consumer application? First two, just think about it. So consumer application is bank application. So bank application is going to reach out to income tax application by sending a request. So first task is what? Sends request to service provider app. After that, what it will do? It will wait. Waits for what? Waits for response. Waits for response. After some time after waiting, what will happen? It will receive response. Then receives the response from service provider. After receiving response, what it will do with response? Then it will process the response data as it wants. Similarly, the tasks performed by service provider application, web service application, web service. Tell me, what are the tasks performed by web service application? What is the first task? So just if you are able to imagine the systems, then only you will be able to get it. If you blindly sit, you won't get it. First thing is, it has to receive the request. Receives the request from where? Consumer. After that, what it will do? It has got the request. What it will do?
Get the data from
process the request.
Request, comma, generates the output. Response data. Generates the response data. After generating response data, what it will do? It will keep it with it. Sends back the response data to requester. That's it. These are the high level tasks. These are the high level tasks. Are you clear? This is a basic idea about service provider and consumer, web service and consumer. Basic idea about web services. Now the point is that, so while we are working on Pega or Java or anything, so our system, our Pega application, is it going to be a consumer or service provider? What do you think? You're working in real time. You have a Pega application. Your Pega application is going to be consumer or service provider? What do you think?
both.
Consumer.
It can be either of the one or both. 1 minute. Either of the one or both. That means Sometimes whatever the data you have in Pega application, you may want to expose it to someone else, outsiders. Then in Pega application, you have to create a web service. Sometimes your application wants to access the data from some other web service. Then Pega application is going to be a consumer. Consumer related rule types are different. Service provider related rule types are different. If you want to create a web service, create some rule types. If you want to consume existing web service, create other rule types. We'll discuss about Pega later, but whatever the concept I told you about web services so far, it is universal concept. It is universal concept. So tomorrow we are going to discuss about web service protocols. Web service protocols. Okay. Web service protocols. Then in that SOAP, REST, WSDL, like that. Okay. So all these points we'll discuss slowly. Tomorrow 1 hour will be theory. So let me tell you one thing. So today last to 10 minutes plus tomorrow 1 hour. If you miss this tomorrow's session, for next to 20 days, you will not be able to understand anything. If you miss tomorrow's session, for next to 15 to 20 days, you will not be able to understand anything unless you have a clarity on the concept of web services in detail in real world. You can never understand the technical implementation in Pega. Okay, web services concept is same. If you're working on Pega, Salesforce, anything, any technology, any tool, web service concept will never change. But how technology implements that concept differs from tool to tool, technology to technology. Understand clear, everyone? So we'll continue tomorrow. Thank you for joining, everyone. If you have any doubts, you can ask me 624, right? So I will try to add the interview questions. Till what extent I have added? Case management. Property optimization onwards, I will add. Up to here, outbound email integration. Govinda.
Harsha, the Pega WhatsApp group, we used to send the questions whenever we are stuck
I was
while
asked about
practicing.
yeah.
Yeah.
You used to send
So right
questions.
now,
No, our
yeah,
motive
we,
is there are some issues that have happened. That's why we closed that group. I mean to say, like only one side. Our motive is you should always reach out to us. We want to know who is having what type of doubts, all that. Like we want to directly help the people instead of you people helping in between. So every student that we wanted to know what they are doing. So reach out to us. Our mentor, you send it. Mentor will sort out. If mentor is, and he will note down who has come, what is that. He has an Excel for that. How many times they have reached out during the training period. Who is working, who is not working will come to know. Plus, mentor not able to sort out that. Mentor will bring it to me. I will sort out. So we want direct interaction with students for everything, every simple doubt also.
sure, Harsha. Thank you.
April 17, right? Today. So far, every batch, almost every batch has this two-way connection. But we stopped now after these many years. 624, right? Interview questions document. What else? Class notes. What else? This practical document, right? Okay, so web services related document, I'll share you later. As of now, you have class running notes, that is enough. Diagram I have to attach or what? You want the diagram?
Yes, sir.
Um, okay, just you can easily understand to that. So, but just imagine it in the real world, then you can easily understand the concept of web services. So we'll start now, everyone. So am I audible clearly to every one of you?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, so we were discussing about web services, right? Today, 1 hour complete theory and explanation. So as I told you, based on yesterday's session of integrations concept plus today 1 hour session only, the rest of next 15 to 20 days sessions are different. So if you understand this, you'll be able to understand later sessions. Otherwise, you'll not be able to. Okay. So listen to me carefully. Okay, just give me 1 minute. So last class we were discussing about web services concept. So can anyone of you tell me what is web service? So web service is a software program hosted on service provider's application, which receives the request, processes the request, generates output, and sends the output as a response to the requester. So while we are working with web services, our Pega PRPC system can be a service provider. Also, it can be a connector at the same time. Some data that we have, we can give it to some people. Some people, some other third-party systems, whatever the data is available, we may consume that. If we want to consume the data from any third-party systems, our PRPC becomes a connector, consumer. If you want to provide the data that we have to other third-party people, then our PRPC is going to act as service provider. It is going to act as service provider. Okay, clear every one of you? So in the web services concept, you have two parties, sender and service provider. Sender is also called as consumer or requester. Consumer or requester. Generally, a web service won't be getting executed by itself. So from the outside, some third-party system should come and hit it. So from the outside, third-party external system is going to send a request to the web service. Web service gets invoked, process the request, generates the outputs, give it back to, send it back to requester. Okay. A requester is always initiating the request. Okay. So now if you look at the tasks that are performed by consumer application initiates the request and sends the request to the service provider application. So it waits for the response, receives the response from the service provider after some time, then process the response date. Then a service provider application, a web service performs the below task. It receives the request from the consumer, processes the request, generates the response data, and sends back the response data to the requester. Sends back the response data to the requester. Are you clear, every one of you? This is what we have discussed yesterday. Do you have any doubts in that part?
No, Harsh.
Okay, very good. You are clear with that, right? Now I'm going to go in depth. So while we are working with web services, if you want to create a web service, the service can be created by following certain rules and regulations. Certain rules and regulations. That rules and regulations are defined by the protocols. What is that? Protocols. So for web services, there are so many protocols available in the market. SOAP stands for Simple Object Access Protocol. REST, Representational State Transfer. Actually, REST is not a protocol, it is an architecture. But okay, let me tell you as protocol for now. But REST is an architecture extension of HTTP. Extension of what? HTTP, Hypertext to Transfer Protocol. That's what we use in the internet every day. So if you want to access any website, you'll use HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Okay, MQ. Okay, message queue related. And COM. Okay, Cobra. And what you have? Java protocol, .NET protocol. Like this, there are so many available, the protocols. So file protocols, file, okay. Yeah, file, okay. Now, SOAP is the one which we are going to start discussing about, okay. SOAP stands for Simple Object Access Protocol. Okay, before I tell you about the protocol, so let me tell you something else or something more about web services. Okay, let me tell you. I will open the diagram and explain you more. Then we are good to proceed with protocols and all. Okay, just let me close this. Go here And what is that? Web service diagram I want to open, right? Web service diagram. Where is web service life cycle? I'll open web service life cycle diagram. Open with Paint. Look at here now. Okay, web service diagram. Okay, so now you have, this is a service. Just imagine this is a service. So third party system is going to send a request to the service. Third party system is going to send a request to service. Then what a service will do? Service will process the request, finally sends back the response to the requester. Yes or no? Sends back. But how this is going to happen? Okay, let me open the other diagram about web services as well. This is another diagram. Open with Paint. Okay, now you see here. See, as I already told you, in the concept of web services, we have two applications are going to communicate with each other. Two applications are going to communicate with each other. First application is, let's say for example, the application which is going to consume the third party web service is Pega application. Here, HDFC Bank application is there, which is developed by using Pega. Let's say for example, consider like that. Now the web service is being created and it is made available in service providers application. That is, let's say for example, a .NET application. What application? A .NET application. So now the web service requester here is Pega application. Service provider, consumer is Pega, service provider is .NET application. Now consumer will have the data as a requester. That request data will be sent to service provider. Service provider receives the request data from consumer, process it and generates the output and send it back. But the languages here are different. Consumer language is different. Service provider language is different. The data that is available at consumer here as a Pega application will be in the form of clipboard pages. Will be in the form of clipboard pages. Page 1 dot property is equal to some value like that it will be. And service provider cannot understand the clipboard pages data if you send. Okay, because service provider is .NET, no. So service provider is looking for the data in an understandable format. What format it can understand? .NET, like C# or some language they have used, objects. They can understand that C# objects, object format. Now how to solve this issue? Service provider is sending the data, okay, but consumer not able to understand that. Okay, so you are a person who can speak, let's say for example, who can speak German. You can speak German language. There are two persons. Okay, person A, person B. Okay, person A is Indian citizen from, let's say, AP or Telangana, Telugu person. Person A can speak only Telugu language. He doesn't know any other foreign language other than English. He knows English as a foreign language. Other than English, he doesn't know anything else. He knows Telugu language. Okay, there is another guy called, he can speak only German language. Only German language. He also can speak English language. Other than that, he cannot speak any other foreign language. These two guys have met in a spoken English training program. That means what you can understand here is, they are also not so much familiar or fluent in English language. So they both met in spoken English center. So they both have joined one spoken English training center to learn how to speak in English. Okay, means very beginners. If you can better understand the concept if you take this example. Now just imagine yourself in the situation and someone else is there along with you. Okay, now a person who can speak in Telugu can also speak in English, as well as German person can speak in English, but fluent or not fluent. Because they met in spoken English, I told you, they are not so fluent, correct? Now in such a scenario, imagine yourself, you are a guy of your mother tongue, you have joined spoken English training center. At the very beginning days, maybe after 10 days, 15 days, you have started speaking in English language. Okay, but how do you speak in English language? Will you be fluent or you are not going to be fluent? You're not going to be so fluent, but you speak something like that, right? As a beginner, not so fluent. As a beginner, you are going to speak out. But while you are trying to frame the sentences in English language, how do you frame? Anyone can tell me. How do you frame it? Yes, what do you do? Yes. So first, whatever the statement that you want to express in English language, you will not be directly framing that statement in English. Instead, what do? You are going to make the statement in your mother tongue. First, your brain starts framing the statement in the mother tongue. Then your brain translates it from mother tongue to English. That's why you feel difficult in speaking out English language at the beginning days, right? This translation will happen in your mind, okay, in your brain. Translation will happen. Whatever your brain translated, you speak out. The other person will receive. German guy has received. Which language he has received? English. Okay, Telugu guy, German guy. Telugu guy has translated the Telugu statement in the brain to English slowly, and that he has spoken out. And German guy has received English statement now. Here, English language is a common language for these two people. Now, the German person, when he is going to listen that English statement, English language statement or sentence, is going to understand it quickly. To understand what he will do, to understand that English statement, what is going to do? His brain again translates, because he is not so fluent, right? So beginning days, right? So he receives English statement and his brain is going to start translating from English language to German internally. There, the other side is also translation required. Telugu guy is consumer who initiated the task. German guy is a service provider who is receiving the first request, first talk, receiving first task, first talk initiator. Okay. Now one translation there. So the Telugu guy translated from native language to common language. German guy has translated from common language to native language. After German guy receives that statement, okay, that question, let's say question in English, translated into German, he will generate the response. How he will generate? He will generate directly in English language. No, again, his brain is going to generate the answer in German language only. Then from German, it will be converted. Means the output generated is in native language. He will generate the output in native language. He will receive English language question, translate it to German, process it in German, and then generate the output in German. Then again, his brain translates from German to English, and the answer will be spoken out by the German guy. Okay, outside you are seeing English only, but internally translations are happening. Understand? Internally translations are happening. So how many translations at German guy? 2 translations. Common language to native language, again native language to common language. Now the Telugu guy receives the answer from the German guy in English language. Now he has to understand it. No, in order to understand what he will do, Telugu guy is going to understand directly in English language. No, then he will translate from English to native language, Telugu language again, and he will understand. How many translation techniques are required at both ends? Consumer, service provider. Either you are a consumer or service provider. How many translation techniques are required? Two translations required at a consumer or and service provider These are common if you are a consumer. One is translate from, okay, translate from native to common language. This technique is called streaming. Second one, translate from common to native. This technique is called as parsing. Parsing. Understand clear, everyone? So the same way, whatever the example I have told you, are you clear with the example that I have told you? Every one of you, are you clear with the example? If you don't understand example, you cannot understand the technical concept. Are you clear with the example? Everyone should respond.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, now.
Yes.
In the same manner, in our technology also, Pega application, when sending request, it has the request data in Pega language format. that should be converted into some common language which is understandable to service provider. Service provider receives it and converts from common to native and generates the output in native, again converts that native output to common and then send back. Consumer receives the common language and converts into native. So now let's redraft these things. Redraft the tasks performed by consumer application and tasks performed by service provider application. Let's redraft in detail. So now consumer application. First task is converts, that's what? Translates, no? Translate, okay. Converts or translates. Converts the request data from native to common. That is the first step. Step 2, sends the request data to service provider. Step 3, wait for the response. Step 4, receives the response from service provider in common language format. Understand? Then process the response data. Before processing the response data, what should be done? Converts response data from common to native and then process the response data. Understand? These are the order. If you do not know this order is very, very important. If you do not know this order, while implementing the web services or connectors in our Pega application, you cannot understand the rules and connectivity. So this order is very, very important. In the same order, you need to remember. Okay, it's not so difficult. If you can imagine that example that I told you, it is very easy. Okay, next, what are the tasks performed by service provider? First, what will happen? Receives the request from consumer in common language format. Then what is the second step? Just give me one. Converts the request data from common to native. Converted. After that, process the request and generate the response data in native language. After generating the response, what will be done? Again, converts the response data from native to common. Okay, and sends back the response data. Understand? So these are the tasks that each one will do. Make sense? Clear, everyone? Online students, are you clear? So converting from native language to common language. What technique it is? Streaming. Native to common is streaming. Common to native, parsing. Okay. Now let's discuss about web service protocols. In the web service protocols, we have SOAP, REST, HTTP, File, MQ, COM, Cobra, Java.NET. These are the protocols available. Okay. Now here, simple object access protocol is the one first we are going to discuss. So when you are working with simple object access protocol, the protocol supports XML data structure only. XML data structure only as a common language. Means the data flowing between the systems should be in which format? XML format. XML format will be like this. Address is at XML tag. End tag will be there. So in the address, you have door number, street name. Like this, you can have n number of tags. Again, door number you copy paste. Street name you copy paste. So the tag with slash is end tag. The tag without slash is beginning tag. And door number D-111, street name main street, like this. Understand? Clear, everyone? So if you compare this XML data structure with our clipboard, you can easily understand that door number is single value property. Street name is single value property. These two tags are inside another tag which doesn't have any values. A tag holding other tags is a page. Tag holding other tags is a page. Understand? Address is a page. On the page, you have door number and street name on clipboard. If you convert this into clipboard structure, then clipboard format of above one is, what is that? Address as a page referring to data dash address class. On that, you have door number, and you have street name with respect to values as D-111 and street name main street. Understand clear everyone? Online students, are you clear? That is how XML structure looks like. Any doubt in this? Now you want to create one SOAP service. If you want to create SOAP service, what are the things to be implemented as a programmer or developer? First, you need to create web service. If we want to create, if we want to create a SOAP service, then what needs to be created? First one, web service you need to create. No? SOAP service you have to create SR. No? SOAP service you have to create. Second, for processing logic you need to implement. So next, what logic you need to implement? Translation techniques you need to implement. Translation techniques logic you need to implement. Translating from native to common, common to native. These techniques related logic you have to implement. Anything else you need to implement? Service, processing logic, translation techniques you have to implement, generally speaking. This is universal. So anyone, if he wants to develop one web service, the web service program he should write. Inside he should write translation techniques and processing logic also he should implement. Okay. So now let's imagine that you created a web service. You created one web service program, everything is done. Now the service needs to be given to the consumers. So now you are an income tax department. You have created one web service. The service accepts a request of PAN card number, provides a response of some details. Okay, PAN card number, tax number, tax year, tax amount, any pending dues, no pending dues. Okay, score, some tax payment score, I mean like credit score, something like that for that particular department. Some data it is going to send back. Now the service you created, how it can be consumed by the consumers. Okay, I'll just tell you one example, simple example. So now you tell me this. So I have created one website. What is the website? Harsha Trainings website I have created. My website is hosted on a server and server is connected to internet. Okay. Now I want this website to be utilized by some people, students. Now how they can use it? What should I provide them? What should I provide them? Tell me.
URL.
URL. What should I provide? URL. URL stands for Uniform Resource Locator. So any resource on the internet will be uniquely located by this URL. Uniform means uniquely. So uniquely one resource has to be located means one URL, www.harshatrainings.com. So it will locate the resource server where Harsha Trainings application is deployed. So in order to access any resource, web service is also a program, no? We need URL. In case of web services, in case of web service language, terminology, it is called as endpoint URL. It is called as endpoint URL. What is it called as? You will not simply say URL. Of course, it is also URL. You will call endpoint URL. Endpoint means the target system that I wanted to meet as a consumer. So consumer, in order to consume a web service, the service provider should give below details to the consumers. The other way around, or consumer should request for below information from service provider. What are the details? First one you told, endpoint URL. Is it only enough endpoint URL? Anything else is required? This is not a website. This is web service. Website means user interface will be there. You will register, you will log in, you will give password. but it's a service. Service, one application is going to send request to another application. Now, what else is required?
Authorization.
Credentials. Credentials are optional. If your service is authenticated service, then you provide credentials. Service is unauthenticated, no need to provide credentials. Authenticated means a login and password is must along with request, then only service will allow. Unauthenticated means anyone can come and access it, no authentication required. Understand clear everyone? Next, you see, we have Google Maps. In order to access Google Maps, I don't access, in order to get the directions, I don't think so you need to log into Google. Without login to Google also, you can access Google Maps. Google Maps is both authenticated as well as unauthenticated. If you log in, that's okay, very good. If you don't log in also, Google Maps you can access, that is unauthenticated. Google itself is unauthenticated. Google server itself is unauthenticated. Gmail, authenticated. If you want to access Gmail, you must be logging in, authenticated. YouTube is unauthenticated. To perform some operations on YouTube, to gain access to some components, then you need to log in. That is authorization. That is, without login, you can access videos of YouTube. Unauthenticated application only. Inside application, I want to comment. I want to upload. Then you need to log in. Authentication, there it is authorization. Authorization means what? Specific components you are allowed to be accessed when you have authorization. Authentication means whole application level. Okay, understand? Clear everyone? So endpoint URL credentials. What else we need other than this? So I'm a developer. So as of now, I don't have anything in my system. I need to create a program. The program is responsible for sending a request to the service provider, receiving the response, processing the response. In order to create that program, I need certain details. Endpoint URL, credentials, I need the details of request and response model XML. Model XML. Understand clear? Here SOAP means XML. Request and response model XML. If I know in what structure I can send you request. See, everyone should not send their own way of structuring the request. Service provider will define a proper request structure and a proper response structure. Suppose if you go to bank and okay, if simple like logic, I'll tell you. If you are writing a letter to the bank, you will not write the way you want. There will be certain format. Okay, give a date, give address someone, body, subject line, please mention body, signature, your address. Format will be there for everything. So how do you know the format? Bank only will tell you. Service provider only will tell you. Sir, in this format, you please send us email or letter so that we will respond. Okay. Simply you will not write from beginning to ending of the paper. Okay. Not like a paragraph. Okay. So like that, request format, response format, when both are known to the consumer, based on that format, he will design his system of translation techniques, processing techniques and all. So you should also tell the request and response model XML. If you provide that, they'll come to know, okay, this is the structure I have to generate. This is the structure I'll receive. I need to parse it. Like that, he will come to know and he will accordingly do it. Understand clear, everyone? Online students, are you clear so far?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is what. So now, when you are working with SOAP, when you are working with simple object access protocol, here you can see. So a third-party system is going to send an XML request to the service provider. XML format, right? SOAP means now service provider is going to receive the XML and convert the XML from XML to native language, parsing. Common language to native is parsing. Parse it, then process it by executing some business logic, then convert it into XML format, that is streaming, and then send the response XML to the consumer. Understand clear, everyone? Clear? Online students, are you clear? That's the direction. Starting from here, this is 1, this is 2, okay. 3, like that, it will proceed this way. Okay, makes sense? Clear, everyone? Online students, are you clear? Okay, what next? I should tell you. So about this same thing, whatever we have. So now the endpoint URL credentials request and response XML, how can you provide? okay, I want to provide as a service provider, I want to give these details to the consumer. What are different mediums that I can send it through? How to send? Suppose you want to give me this data. How do you give me this data? You can put this in a Word document or text document, and you can send the document in an email. That is one thing. You can put it in a Word document, you can put it in a text document or something, and you can upload that document into your Google Drive. Give me access to download the document. You send email or give me access to download the document. Both are okay, no problem. Ultimately, I need these details. But in case of SOAP, there is certain process. You know what? So an XML document should be generated. An XML document should be created which contains endpoint URL, comma, credentials will not be like that. Okay, will not be there in the document. Okay, request and response, model request and model response XML. Again, XML contains model request response XML and endpoint URL and some other details and other details. Okay, so XML document should be created. So this XML document contains what? Contains the details about the web service. Yes or no? Details about web service. What does, so if you create an XML document in XML language format, that XML language format contains endpoint URL, request XML structure, response XML structure. So to provide this data, you are not directly putting into one text file or Word document. You are, again, this data you are embedding into XML structure. Okay, and that document you are trying to give it. So the document, XML document, contains the details about the web service. Means the document describes the details. The document describes the details of web service. That is in case of SOAP service, right? In this case, it is SOAP service. So this document is called as, WSDL, stands for Web Service Description Language document. So WSDL document. So now in interviews, they will ask you one question. So you are a consumer. What details, SOAP service, you want to consume a SOAP service, what details that you request from the service provider? What do you say? You should say that I request from the service provider a file called as WSDL file, Web Service Description Language file. Means it describes the details about the web service. This file itself contains the endpoint URL, request XML, response XML and all. Along with that, if it is authenticated, I will also ask them the credentials to share me. Like that, you will be telling. Clear? Make sense? Clear, everyone? So now this document, how can you send this document? XML document, you can attach an email and send. You can upload into your Google Drive and send. So this document will not be shared directly. This document will be uploaded into a shared drive, and the download link of the document of WSDL file will be shared to the consumers. Okay, this download URL will have what? Will end with the WSDL. I will show you, show you one example. Okay, no? So resources, integration, services, service package. Where is service integration? Resources. Govinda, 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 so the URL you can see here, it is ending with what? WSDL. Normal URLs doesn't end with WSDL. No. See in the URL, the first one is HTTP, says web protocol. HTTP is mainly web protocol. And local host means server IP address, port number, So the application var file and the servlet which it has to connect in the application. It is a protocol of SOAP service. Name of the service, Geico Auto Authors Package Service. And this is there is a method called services. There is a method called services. There is a service in the package. Sorry, this is package. Service package, and there is a service called services something. Okay, I'll explain you this. Once we create by ourselves, then you will come to know. So the first parameter is web protocol, host name, IP address, port number, and the respective application var file and the servlet which it has to hit in order to enter into the application server, and the protocol and package, service package name and service. What is the service package and all? I'll explain. Okay. And this is a WSDL URL. Okay, ultimately. So this is what you need to provide. Okay. Now you want to create one SOAP service in Pega. So we want to create what? SOAP service in Pega. Then what are the rules to be created? Rules to be created. Just imagine you received an XML request. As a service provider, you received an XML request. You are going to take the XML data, extract the data from XML and assign it to clipboard. Correct? Clipboard means what? Properties. So request you need to set to some properties. Response you will generate in normal clipboard format, which you need to convert into XML. So you need properties for response also. You need properties for request. You need properties for response. These properties will be acting like will be in the pages. Request page properties, response page properties. Where do you create these pages and properties? In the classes. In which class you create properties? Data class. Where do you access? Integration class. See, generally properties will be created in data class and will be accessed into work class. Correct? In case of integrations, generally in case of work object, processing class is always work class. Correct? In case of integrations, processing classes are integration classes. Processing classes are what? Integration layer. Under integration layer, you create one class that is the primary class of the services or connectors. While working with web services or while consuming the web services, we create our main primary classes under integration layers. This acts as your case type class, but actually it is not case type class. Like case type class is the one where the execution will begin and process and end. No. In the same manner, web service is not a work object. No. Third party system will come and hit. It will get executed, initiate the processing request. Processing will be completed. Some task will be done. So for web services, you must be using integration layer and create the classes under the integration layer. So now for web services or connectors. Connector means our system is consumer system. In Pega, we create classes, we create processing classes under integration int classes. Under integration classes. We have 3 integration classes. Okay. Organization integration, framework integration, implementation integration. Okay. Like that only. But properties we always create in data classes and we access into integration classes by using pages. So here, if you want to create, okay, integration classes and rule sets must be used. Rule sets must be int rule sets. Int rule sets. This integration classes directly inherits from OOTB class int dash. Work classes work dash. Data classes data class. Index classes index dash. Assignment classes assign dash. In the same manner, integration classes int dash. Understand? Link classes link dash. Okay. So if you want to create SOAP service in Pega, then create below rules. Create below rules. What are the rules? First, data class with properties. Data class with the properties. Second one, integration class for service or consumer. Integration class with the request and response pages. These pages refers to data class. So as usual process, data class properties X here. Third one, you are dealing with web service. No, you're dealing with what? Web service. Just give me 1 minute. So when you're dealing with web service, Okay. So first to data class property is ready. Next you create XML stream rule. XML stream comma parse XML rule. So what is the purpose of these rules? XML stream rule converts the native language to common language. Parse XML rule converts the common language to native language. And activity. Activity for what purpose, you tell me? Activity for processing purpose. The request task should be done no processing purpose. Activity for processing purpose. Fifth one. What is the fifth one? SOAP service rule. SOAP service rule. So we are dealing with SOAP service rule. If you're dealing with REST service rule. If you're dealing with another service rule, like that. Some of the rules may change. Now, apart from this, anything else? Data class, page properties, data class, integration class with page properties, XML stream, parse XML, activity, SOAP rule. Okay, that is what it will send. Service rule only will send. Next, you need to create service package rule. Why service package? I'll explain you. Service package rule plus additionally, do you need to create any rule here? No. Okay, no. This is for the service. I'm sorry. Where is it? For web service. For web services in Pega, we create. Okay. Just give me 1 minute. What did I? Okay. So for web service, okay, this point is different. Okay. This is a different point. Okay. If you want to create SOAP service, yes, I have clearly written. If you want to create SOAP service, not the connector. If you want to create SOAP connector, what are the rules to be created? If you want to create connect SOAP, what do you call it? Connect SOAP. If you want to create connect SOAP means consumer. If you want to create service SOAP means web service. You are creating web service. These are the rules. If you're creating connect SOAP means what? You are going to be consumer. So then the rules are, of course, here also data classes with properties, integration class with request and response pages. Okay, XML stream rule, parse XML rule, activity or data page to invoke the connector SOAP rule, comma, process the data. After that, connect SOAP rule. Which rule? Connect SOAP rule. And no service package rule. Additionally, service package will not be available while you are working with connectors. So additionally, while you are working with connector, optionally, you need to create one rule called authentication profile rule. What rule? Authentication profile rule for credentials, defining credentials. Okay, purpose. These are the rules to be created. So as of now, we are going to deal with service. We're going to deal with what? Web service. I will explain you the rules in the Pega service package. So I'll explain you the rules now one by one. You see. So there will be a service rule. This is service package and this is SOAP service rule. Where is it? This is SOAP service. I'll open the SOAP service rule. Look at here. This is a SOAP service rule. See, when a third-party system is going to come and hit our service, this is the rule that gets executed. When SOAP service rule is being executed, it will run on some primary page. I told you not definitely every rule in Pega should run on some primary page. The primary page name here is my service page. You can change it to any name of your wish. So your service should run on some primary class. No, see, your work object will run on primary class as work class. What is the primary class for work object? Work class. Okay. Similarly, for services, always the class will be integration related class. Okay. Under integration layer, you created one class that is primary class. For that, the page is primary page. Some page, primary page. And after that, request tab. What is the tab? In the request tab, it is calling one rule. What rule? XML parse rule. So this SOAP service, when it is been hitting from outside, it will create one primary page and it is going to call one parse XML rule. What is the purpose of XML parse rule? Parsing means what? Converting from common language to native language. So the service will receive a request in XML language, no? Then it has to convert from XML to clipboard. That means parse XML rule is required. I'll open the rule later and show you, not now. Then it will go to service tab. So now the request received in XML format is now available in clipboard format. I have to process it. For processing purpose, it will call activity. For processing purpose, it will call activity. Activity will process the data, generates the output response, and keep the response on response page. Keep the response on which page? Response page. When the service parses the request, it will place the XML data and extract normal content from XML and place it on request page. Place it on which page? Request page. The request page data will be utilized by this activity to perform some task, generates the output response and place it on which page? Response page. Now the response page data will be converted into XML format by executing a rule called as XML stream rule. XML stream rule. This is the order of execution of rules. If you want to know the order of execution of the rules, you need to know the basic structure of processing the things in web services. Web service receives the request, converts the request, process it, again converts back, send it back. Same way, SOAP service receives request in XML format, then immediately for converting execute parse XML rule, for processing execute activity rule, then execute XML stream rule, then service will send the response data in XML format. So the order of execution of rules here. So for a SOAP service, the order of execution of rules. So what is the order of execution of rules? First, SOAP service. Second, service package. I did not tell you so far. Now I'll explain you. Service package. Third, parse XML. XML parse, you can say anything. Then activity. Then XML stream. So who will be responsible for sending back this streamed XML? SOAP service only will send. Okay, now SOAP service will communicate with service package also. Hey, why we need service package here? What is service package? What are its capabilities? Listen to me carefully. We have 8 more minutes to discuss in detail. Understand clear? So far, everyone clear? Every one of you. Are you realizing one point that why it is important to understand the order of execution of the tasks? You understand now why it is important? Okay. So tell me now, any doubts, any questions so far? How to implement and all, I'll show you. It is just 2 minutes task, implementation. Okay. Now here you go. I'll explain you in detail about all the tabs here later. Okay. For now, I am telling you overall rules execution. A service package is there. One rule type is there in Pega called as service package. You know about a service. Now you know about service. Then what do you mean by package? What do you mean by package? What is your guess? What do you mean by package? Collection of services. Collection of services. A package is a collection of services. Service package is a collection of same or different services. Means, see, service package need not to be collection of multiple SOAP services. In a service package, I have 5 services. What are those? One SOAP, one REST, one MQ, one email, something else. Possible. Okay. Why the service package is required? See, you create one service package. While you are creating service, you need to connect it to the package. Why do you need to do? Let me tell you. There are multiple reasons. One reason I'm going to come up with first. Okay. How a web service will get executed? First, that is what we need to question ourselves. So any one of you tell me, in our application, we have created one web service. This will get executed at certain point in time. At what moment this will get executed? Tell me how the invocation of the web service will happen.
When we make a request, it will go to the web server and
Yes. Who will make the request?
consumer will make a request and it will
Consumer
go to this.
will make a request. Okay, give me 1 minute. Share now. Okay. Yes, consumer will make a request. Means it's not our Pega. See, it's not like you log into PRPC and you click on some button, the web service will be running. No, it doesn't happen like that. Your Pega server is up and running. some third-party application will send a request over the web. Then your Pega application, it will come inside your Pega application and hit the web service. It will hit the web service. Then your web service execution will begin. All the rules in the web service will start running in the proper order, whatever I have explained. Now we need to go back to the concept of access group. For every rule when it is running, suppose let's take the activity. So activity name is ABC. ABC is the name. With ABC name, there can be so many activities in Pega server. Then which activity to be taken? So how it will come to know? So Pega will use access group. So access group, it requires an access group related application related rule sets. From that rule sets only, it will search and find one activity of the same name that is being found there. Now, for every rule that has to be running here, definitely access group is required. So that access group will not be mentioned in the service rule. Access group will be mentioned in the package rule. The service is connected to the package, no? Now, when the service is invoked, immediately it will go and take the access group from the package. From this access group, it will identify all those rules which are there in the service and starts executing the respective instances at runtime. Understand clear? Service package rule supplies access group on which the services must be running. Okay. Now you have got a requirement. Create 10 web services. Let's say different services. So web service 1, 2, 3 should be running on manager access group. Otherwise, at authors access group. Web service 1, 2, 3 should be running on authors access group. Web service 4, 5, 6 should be running on managers access group. 7, 8, 9, 10 should be running with users access group. That's what the requirement you got. How many packages you will create? Tell me. 10 web services you have to create. 1, 2, 3 on authors package. 4, 5, 6 on managers package. 7, 8, 9, 10 on users package. Total how many? Sorry, access group. How many packages you need to create? Total 3 packages. In future, you got a requirement to create 11th web service, which should run on manager access group. Do you need to create one more package for this 11th? Already with one service package is there with manager access group. I will connect it with the existing one generally. Understand? So service package is collection of services, similar different services that runs on same access group. Those runs on same access group. Okay. Service package is responsible for supplying the access group. Not only that, additional things are there. In the service package only, you will be having the option of authentication. Whether your service is authenticated service, your service is unauthenticated service will be decided by your service package. Service package only will decide the authentication. There are these 3 types of authentication: basic, OAuth, and custom. Custom is not required. Basic and OAuth. I'll explain you these things after some time. But as of now, the high level point is authentication. So authentication or not. Suppose I'll tell you one requirement. Tell me now. So I have to create 5 web services. 3 web services should run on authors. 5 should run on authors access group. 5 web services should run on authors access group. But out of these 5, service 1, 2, 3 should have are authenticated services. 4 and 5 are unauthenticated. Now you tell me how many packages you need to create. All 5 services should run on authors package. 1, 2, 3 are authenticated. 4, 5 no authentication at all. How many packages you need to create? 2 packages you need to create. Package 1 with authors access group authenticated. This checkbox selected. Package 2 with same access group, but this checkbox is unchecked. Understand clear? Now, apart from this, service package also decides whether the processing mode is stateful or stateless. So what is meant by stateful? What is meant by stateless? You know this actually. You studied this during your graduation also. Stateful means, yes, please.
Persisting the value in between the request state.
Yes, what value it will persist? That's what. State value. You can simply see. Okay, what is meant by state? Session. State means stateful, stateless. I'll tell you. Google is stateless, Gmail is stateful. You know what? So I have opened a web browser, tab 1. In tab 1, I have typed gmail.com. I got login screen. I have provided credentials and logged in. Next, I have opened one more tab. And in the new tab, I simply typed gmail.com and hit enter. Am I going to get the inbox or am I going to get login screen? Tell me. What are you going to get?
Inbox.
In the same browser, I'll open one more tab and type gmail.com. Am I going to get login screen or inbox? Inbox. You know why? It will identify the session. If you open 10 tabs in a browser, same session. The session is persisted. For Gmail, session is persisted. In single session, if you try to open Gmail, you will get into same account. If you want to log into another Gmail, you need to start a new session. In the same system, in the same browser, if you want a new Gmail to be logged in, you need to open a new session. Okay. Next, open tab 1 and type google.com and search for something. Learn Pega, you searched and you got some details. Open a new tab and type google.com. Are you going to get a new Google search page or you are going to get the previous screen results here?
New Google
search page only you'll get. You'll not get previous screen result because the state is not persisted. The session is not persisted. So processing mode stateful, stateless means the web service, if it is a stateful service, it generates the session ID. It persists the session ID in the database. It sends back the session ID to the request that it does. So it got a request. The request related ID will be generated, persisted, given back to the consumer. Okay. Stateless means no need to generate any session ID. Okay. Directly process it. Now, what is the advantage of this? Let me tell you an example. See, you are having one internet connection. Service provider is ACT FiberNet. Okay. You're not getting internet since today morning 6 a.m. So at 6 a.m. in the morning, you realized that internet is not working. You called customer care and informed them that you're not getting internet. It's not being accessible for you. Okay. Then customer care person told that, please tell your details. He collected all your details. He raised a request and he has given you the request ID 123 he has given. REQ 123. RQ 123 has given. So now you got the request ID with you. Okay. Now, evening 6 p.m. till evening 6 p.m. Your issue is not resolved. Evening 6 p.m. by the time you call, the support person, his shift is over. Another person came and sit in the same seat. So you have called, it has been reached to some other person who is there in the same role. So now when you call second time, you did not tell him request ID. You did not tell him that you called in the morning. You did not tell him request ID. You're simply again telling, since today morning 6 a.m. I am not receiving internet. These are my details. What he will do, obviously, he will try to create a new request now, generally, because you did not tell no. So system having the information is different. Leave it. Generally, what will be his feeling? He will understand that you are newly reporting an issue. Instead of saying the details, what if you say, today morning I called and I have this request ID. Can you please check my issue status and all? He will understand that you are a follow-up customer. You're not a new customer. You're a follow-up customer. This second time request is follow-up request. First time request is new request. If you're not sending request ID as a consumer, if you're not giving request ID to the service provider, that will be considered as new request. If you give request ID in your request, which is there with the service provider, then that is a follow-up request. Stateful means you can design your system to have new requests being processed as well as follow-up requests being processed. Understand? So your stateful means you generate the request ID. When you receive a request from third-party system, generate a request ID, send it back to them. So next time, the same system is going to send you another request. While sending another request, if it is sending request ID means it is following up. Accordingly, your logic will change. Logic execution. If it is not sending request ID in the request means, again, that is a new request. In stateless, every request is a new request. Every request is a new request. In stateful, a request, if it has the ID, it is follow-up request. A request doesn't have the ID, then it is new request. Understand stateful and stateless? Every one of you. Okay, this I will explain you in the next class. It's already 9:05. I'll explain you pooling concept in the next class. Okay, that's just a small topic. Okay, clear everyone? So we'll continue on Monday. So these are the details about the web services. We'll continue on Monday and we'll practically implement all these things. Okay. can wind up for today. Thank you for joining everyone. Only theory part, only class running notes is enough.